Okay guys, Devil's Details 13. What's this time for? So I came up with the title for this one from Creed's existential song, What's This Life For? I'm not afraid to admit that I know some of Creed's songs. I feel like it takes a big man to admit that. But anyways, what's this time for? This is in regards to in workouts. I'll be constantly adding up the time of how long I think it's going to take for each movement to finish. And is it equal? Do I want it to be equal? Do I want to stress one particular pattern? Do I want to have more of a stamina effect or more of a engine effect or more of a strength effect? As a coach and as a programmer, one of the things you can get better at forever, one of the finer points, is being able to make educated guesses on how long any certain movement will take in a workout. How long it's going to take this particular person to finish 30 wall balls, and how long it may take this person to finish 30 wall balls. If you don't stop, how many wall balls can you get done in a minute? Can you get done 25, 27, 30? A lot may depend on your height, how quick of a squatter you are. Throw that into a workout, 5 rounds, 20 wall balls, 15 power cleans, 10 toes to bar. Then when I look at a workout like that, all right, you have to account for fatigue and different people's engine on a workout like that. If someone was going fast, I don't know, maybe they can get all 3 of those done in less than 3 minutes. If somebody else's engine's going to conk out a little sooner, one of those movements is particularly hard for them, maybe it's going to take them a little over 3 minutes to do 3 movements. A lot depends on the weight of the power clean, all that kind of stuff. This is a rule, what's this time for, that I think about a lot. Because it comes into play on, it totally affects the stimulus of the workout based on how long each movement is taking. And if you don't take that into consideration, you can end up totally missing the desired purpose for the workout. Let's say we're doing a workout like yesterday's with farmer's carry. Let's say I want a workout to be grippy. So I'm going to have farmer's carry in it and pull-ups. How grippy do I want it to be? And as you guys know from the very first Devil's Details, well, a lot of that depends on what we've done in the recent past and what we're doing in the recent future. Do I want it particularly to tax your grip or not as much? If I do, maybe I do those 2 movements back to back. We do the farmer's carry and we do the pull-ups. If I want to be more just kind of grunt work, engine work, maybe I throw some sit-ups in the middle of it, kind of like I did with yesterday's workout. So on any given workout, as I think through what's going to be the limiting factor on this movement and this movement and this movement, and then combine those together. Is it just engine? Is it strength? Is it stamina? What's going on there? And I think this demonstrates why I've mentioned in the past, programming, when I'm programming, I'm putting together a puzzle that will never be finished. It's a puzzle I'm going to be working on forever. But I know, kind of like Tool's song Schism, I know the pieces fit if I can just look at it long enough. Let me have another case in point on this. Tomorrow's workout, 5 rounds for time. There's some double unders, I think it's 30 double unders, and then 20 kettlebell swings, and then 10 toes to bar, which, by the way, is one of your classic Goldilocks workouts. That is from Devil's Details 7. Where I talk about that ideal combination of a monostructural, a weightlifting, and a gymnastic in that 7 to 17 minute time frame. How do I know this workout will be in that time frame? All right, so I'm looking at the 3 movements: 30 toes to bar, 30 double unders, 20 swings, and 10 toes to bar. I think fairly conservatively, throwing a minute at each of those movements, 5 rounds, that's 15 minutes. And frankly, I think most people should be able to go a little bit faster than that. Now, if someone is really struggling with their double unders, then this is a good chance to practice, but maybe that could take them longer. But if someone is proficient with double unders, you can kind of work your way through the swings. Depends if someone just have toes to bar, or are they pretty decent with toes to bar. I think a lot of people will finish tomorrow's workout in that 12-minute time frame. And there may be some that are at 10 or even a little bit under 10. based on proficiency with each movement. There will probably be some that don't finish, and I'm fine with that, because frankly, for tomorrow's workout, I don't want you working longer than 15 minutes. I want nice, steady work out of most people, minimal transitions, and getting through that in, that 10 to 14 minute time frame for most people. So this is what I think about all the time. This is a rule, what's this time for, that I use constantly, and it might be the rule I use the most, because I'm always reviewing this. And even going back to yesterday's workout, as you guys know, originally, those of you that looked ahead, it wasn't just a farmer's carry. There was one dumbbell in the front rack and one at your side. But this week, as you'll notice as the week goes on, I've programmed, it's a little bit shoulder to overhead heavy in this week. I did that on purpose because I think, so going back to the open was a little light on shoulder to overhead. So now that we're going into quarterfinals coming up here in the near future, I think there's going to be a decent amount of testing of shoulder to overhead strength, stamina, all that kind of stuff. And so I wanted to test that this week, or train that this week, and I wanted to throw it on multiple days, because I want you to also have to work under fatigue, work that shoulder to overhead movement pattern while you're fatigued. And so that's why at the end of the week, we're working a lot of that stamina, shoulder to overhead stamina, as we go through this whole week. But because of that, also, one of the subtle things is we're in the front rack position a lot this week. And so I decided, you know what, I'm going to push off that front rack side carry to the week after quarterfinals. So we will be hitting that up again, guys, because I like working carries where the weight is at different levels on you on each side. But having said that, I was like, I'm going to give the front rack position a little bit of a break for that workout yesterday. And that leads me to, guys, so that is, if I can sum that up, that is Devil's Details 13. What's this time for? The next episode of this will actually be another addendum, kind of like I mentioned, I think it was Devil's Details 5. I talked about Hero October from this last year and how I want to do it differently going forward into this coming October. That's the month we run a lot of hero workouts, and this last year I thought it was just too much volume. So at the end of the month, I talked for a while about how I'm going to do that a little differently going forward. Having said that, something I'm going to implement into this year's program that I haven't done in the past is a deload week. This is something that I know many gyms that do a deload week. For various reasons, I have not up to this point, but for also various reasons, I think there's merit to it. I think there's some utility to it. And so if I can do it right, I think it could be something that would help our consistency, help our longevity, help us from wearing down as much. But I'll go into much more detail on that on the next episode, on an addendum about the deload week. And I would very much appreciate your guys' feedback and thoughts once I kind of explain the whole plan of how I'd like this to go. All right, I think that's it. Right on, guys. I will talk to you next time.